Do you consider your life and routine boring? Today we'll journey back in time to 1800s England to open a window into a forgotten nightmare. Prepare yourselves because what you're about to see will forever change your perception of hard. London, Manchester, Birmingham, names that today evoke power and progress. But over 2 centuries ago, these cities were the epicenter of a brutal industrial revolution. Today, we'll go to England in 1800 and see what a normal day in the life of an ordinary worker was like. Awakenings were abrupt, often shivering from the cold. The crumbling walls of the dwellings, improperly called home, were covered in mold, and the stale air was difficult to breathe. These homes were actually unsanitary boxes, without ventilation, insufficient natural light, and often without running water. Entire families squeezed into unimaginably small spaces, a constant hotbed of disease and despair. The salary? A paltry sum, barely enough to buy the bare necessities. Food? Dry bread was often the only meal they had throughout the day, often eaten on the streets, rushing to work. The pungent smell of smoke and waste filled your nostrils. The streets were already a hive of activity. Pale people with lost gazes hurried towards factories, pushed by the fear of losing the little they had. Horses, which people still used for transportation as they had no other option, moved slowly through the mud and garbage covering the pavement. Shops, if they could be called that, were dark warehouses with few and poor quality products, often displayed in unsanitary conditions. And behind the counter, faces as tired as those of the customers. In the early hours of the morning, workers entered the textile factory gates. The air was filled with cotton dust, which settled in their lungs, causing incurable diseases. The deafening noise of the weaving looms was infernal, making any conversation impossible. Whether it was textile factories or machine-building factories where hot steam and incandescent iron were a constant threat, but where there was no other option to secure a livelihood, or shipyards where physical labor exceeded all limits. The worker's life was a perpetual struggle with danger. And let's not forget the women. They were not only factory workers, but also domestic slaves for the wealthy, or mere objects of consumption. Their work was never-ending, and the effort expended was double, both at home and at work. After 6 days of exhausting labor, the only day off was Sunday. But what options did you have for spending your little free time? The local pub. There, the fumes of beer and tobacco smoke mixed with the laughter and shouts of the crowd. There, people found an escape, a community. Boxing matches, brutal, bloody, without rules. These fights were a mirror of their lives, a struggle for survival, a release of accumulated frustrations. Today, as we enjoy the comfort and safety of modern life, it's essential to remember where we came from. The sacrifices of millions of people who, through their suffering, paved the way for progress. Every innovation, every right gained, is based on the untold story of a worker from that period. I hope this foray into the past has opened your eyes and made you appreciate the present more. If you liked this video, most importantly, subscribe for more journeys into history. Until next time, stay curious.